against Team Heretics. We've been talking about this so much, and this just brings us to Team Heretics actually selecting something different and going for bind. And Giant X has gone from banning that split. Don't get me wrong, I will ban the Sunset any other day, to actually picking after that 13-1, Ash.
The 13-1, but again, they do have this new player coming in. They have additional layers, a change in the calling for this team. So maybe that's the change that they needed to feel more confident on that second map.
I'm going to give some copium to the GX side because no, to the GX side because thank God they have a brain cell to ban the Sunset. We've been telling teams to ban it for a very long time. But Heretics, when the Sunset has been banned since Master Shanghai, they've only ever won one series where they couldn't play Sunset. So this is a good omen. But on the other side of this, though, it's Team Heretics. They probably are one of the best teams, if not the best, in EMEA and in the world as well. So it does still feel like the GX have a big mountain to climb.
You know, I was watching the other day, probably yesterday, a video from Team Heretics, and Woods was just saying, I feel so numb right now. Like he was so close to getting that trophy in Shanghai. They're not being back in the region. This just seems like a walk in the park. And the stakes for them are very, very high. For Team Heretics, it's something that they kind of expected to make it into the finals. But for Giant X, all the pressure is on them.
That's such a champagne problem. Yeah. That is literally like, oh no, I got to play on a slightly smaller stage. Ash, but I mean, for GX though, this could mean everything. This could really make the difference of them making playoffs or not.
It really does. And I think when you're thinking about all of those stakes, again, that pressure here, we look towards Cloud slotting into the IGL role once again. And it's a massive change to be put on his shoulders, but I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Let's see what we're going to get on Bind. We're going to get that trusted Team Heretics comp. I love it. I think it's the best.
So Fams is going to literally be stepping in what Redguard would have been doing. This composition fit Purple so well. This is when we started to see Giant X starting to shine. And Team Heretics, do not forget this. They played so many comps in this map during the year, but during Shanghai, they stole the composition from 100 Thieves. And they even beat them with it. In fact, they were 100 Thieves were the only ones that even managed to get to double digits against this composition against them.
And it's insane, just even Woods back onto the initiator in this composition as well, looking towards that fade. It doesn't stop him from being aggressive either. He will still be taking those duels, the individual prowess shining through, but then you look towards Famzy, again, slotting into that role that you're talking about, Yinsu. The Omen is such a foundational part of this composition and makes all the difference when those are the smokes that you're looking towards as far as being able to block off those lines. Right? The setups there as well with the Paranoia.
Yeah, shout out to Sonomi as well, Hoodie's fiance in the crowd, but it's time to jump into this map with your casters, Mitch and Tom.
Thank you very much, Yinsu. Yes, we're about to dive on into this. And Tom, I'm excited. You know, we've finally seen the team, albeit their permaban, take out Sunset against Heretics. So could you say GX has done a great job in the veto here?
No.
Why not, Tom?
Well, the thing is, right, I think what they've done is a sort of pick your poison. Like, it's like, are you going to beat them on a map that I think they're currently on a 9-map win streak? No, you're not going to beat them on Sunset. Picking Split, though, I don't know what's happened. I don't know what Famzy has brought that they think they're now able to play that map after losing 13-1 and not winning it this season and going into a Heretics team that just beat Foot fairly dominantly on that map. So clearly they found something that they think they can pick apart, but I'm not confident for them in this series in general. It's the best team in the league versus arguably the worst. I think it's going to be a tough one. And they've also removed Redgar straight after he probably had his best performance.
Yeah. The man gets moved off IGL, plays well, and he's out. He's gone and having to reset. And I think, you know, it's difficult to imagine then for Team Heretics a reality where they don't 2-0 this. And I think most people will come in with that in their minds, but an opportunity perhaps for GX as the underdogs. Certainly no opportunity for Purpo. Clean, quick shot by Rian's, mini boot on it as well. And GX look very much staggered on the way through B. They openly peeked some angles to try to draw rotations perhaps to allow that lurk up from Hoodie. That's being caught as well. Now a spam through the smoke takes Cloud. And, you know, I feel like GX haven't even started the round and it's already over.
Yeah, well, Famzy in a 1v5 in his first round in the VCT.
Yeah, here we go.
Versus Team Heretics.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably going to lose. We're being honest. I think this would be the greatest debut round we've ever seen. I think Navira might have the title at the moment with an ace in the first pistol he ever played. But hey, you know, he got a kill. He did better than the rest of the team at least.
Redgar would have gotten 4. Well, 1-0 for Team Heretics and a good start on this map. Now, keep in mind, Bind is their selection. Up next is a map, as Tom said earlier, that Heretics have looked great on, Destroyed Foot, and GX have looked absolutely abysmal on, with limited time to make turnarounds. Also, you have to think about trialing processes while you're bringing in another player. I imagine they, you know, coming in, the conversation on the desk as well about Famzy, something you told me backstage earlier on, Tom, correct me if I'm wrong, it was 94% of his games were duelist so far. So
10% of that being chamber. Just
yes, that is a duelist, and if anyone wants to get pedantic about it, we can talk after. But the reality is, when you bring this guy in, you're going to maybe be even saying, okay, let's do a few scrims where you're a duelist. Let's do a few scrims where you're trying this role and see what works. So you really don't have a lot of time to build those fundamentals. And, you know, my heart aches for GX, although I guess they made the decision. So their problem, I suppose. For Heretics, on the other hand, a bit of a risk here by Wood going up against the pistols, up close with a Bulldog. He will only get himself a double. Boo will fall afterwards. And there is a chance emerging for GX, despite the huge weaknesses they came in with.
Yeah, even a chance just to do a little bit of damage. Like it's very easy to come into this match and write them off from the get-go, but I think the chips were already stacked against them before they made the change, and I think now with the change, you basically have to hope that, well, Famzy has a great performance. And bear in mind, he is still playing within the tier 2 at the same time. Like he's playing both sets. Right? Yeah, so it really is a lot on his shoulders to try and get something here. In this round,
30 seconds left.
The 2 remaining players still only have pistols. Even getting a plant here is not going to be particularly easy. Nade still in the hands of Miniboo. Still has a boombot as well with 20 seconds left. And even going to be able to cover the majority of the site just with utility. They'll at least get themselves a plant, and Famzy just survives.
Yeah, I mean, a sliver of health. I don't think he's long for this world. 9 health in a classic. And 2 players patiently waiting. I feel like a switch was flipped by Heretics. Once we saw Boo die, they don't overextend. They're not playing crazy aggressive. They're just waiting back and giving their opponents respect. Maybe the confidence ran a little bit too high to start with, but it's certainly been tamed by the end. 2-0, 3 players surviving, 3 rifles carried forward. Certainly not the end of the world for that defensive side. There was that glimmer of hope for GX, now faded, but they will buy rifles in the next round. And hopefully then we get to see them with a little bit more pizzazz. I feel like that pistol really just went terribly off of a few shots hitting. You have players peeking corners to spot out, to make some noise, and they get ripped apart. That sets them up for a 2-0 loss to start. But now the game begins.
Yeah, I want to premise as well what's on the line today. For Heretics, if they win this game, they're in playoffs. It's guaranteed. If they lose today versus GX, Fnatic are actually at Seoul. Like they go on championship points, so they can already be qualified. And if GX lose, they could be eliminated this week. Also, they're very likely already gone. Damn. See you later, Cloud. You can see the confidence that this Heretics team are already running with. Not only does Boo have himself a Bucky, which I think says all it needs to say, but the fact that Miniboo's already managed to get an opener within the first, 10 seconds of a round?
Yep.
That's a dangerous style to set.
And look at Purpo. No shields, low HP. He's been tagged up heavily by that fight as well. So, hey, look, there's a world where Miniboo gets 2 out of that situation. It's got to be tough on the GX side. They've slowed it down. Spike still left outside A as they prod out the map for some information. That info is not being given away. Heretics, again, showing that passive stance. Only the pixel peek by Woot. But that's being caught. Great connection by Purpo. Might even try to take some space. You see the gate crash move alongside the decoy. It's set up now. Taking it would be a big risk.
Making their move. Miniboo's watching. Head spotted.
It's a fake.
Already have a little bit of information. Actually, the rotation's been pulled. Both players start their move, although Rian's, there's a little bit of hesitation. I don't think he's realized that Vitinho's crossed just yet, but that spot will come out. 20 seconds left on the clock, and they still haven't managed to get themselves into the site just yet, but Rian's being so low means he almost has to try and give this one up. Even still, though, Vitinho battling, brawling. Benji's already managed to give them the man advantage, and the plant will at least be coming through. An opportunity here with players so desperately low.
Yeah, this could be it for GX. That fight towards elbow especially, they're teed up with the flash. It's caught them a little bit, and Famzy doubles up. Vitinho looking to swing deep and take Mini Boo down. It's a dangerous fight, but one that he wins. And Boo a little late to the party. He's got Purple looking the other way. Has an idea of the final player. The low HP is in play. Vitinho's out. And Heretics cling on to that round. What a clutch by Boo.
He's so good on this map in particular as well. I don't think I'll ever forget that Omen TP he did. You remember, onto the spike and got killed from behind. It's still one of the best Red Bull clutches I've ever seen. But you put him on the Brimstone, he's still going to be able to thrive. But it definitely seemed like they were convinced that the remaining player was going to come from that defender spawn. And, well, if he's given a free kill like that and the last player's on low HP, the round can very easily fall apart. And that's the thing. I like the adaptations that were there for GX. Like, they were a man down.
Let's go!
They needed to be a little bit more aggressive. I love that, even though for a lot of people, you'd be thinking this game is a given. For Benji, this is like World Cup final. Like the guy is all in every single time.
He's soaking in every minute on that stage. You love to see it. Purpo's already on the site. Gatecrash was used. Fight onto Boo is good. Spots the second, but can't get there in time. The aim not quite following, but GX managing to storm the site, cleaning up the rest of the kills, and leaving Benji and Rienz to clutch it. They're miles away. Split as well, coming in from separate angles. This is going to be a round for individuals to thrive. Rienz does well to find one. With him going down, Benji's left with a very tough decision. I mean, economically, there's even some players that could definitely use that rifle in the next. And a 1v3, is he likely to get it? I think he might go for the save. Well, he's in the other team spawn, so I'd be surprised if he wasn't.
Yeah, I think it's worth noting as well, just giving a little bit of an idea of how this map has played out for Heretics over the last, few months, I guess. So they're currently on a 4-win streak on this map. They're 7-1 over the last split, Masters, and the split before. So over the last few months, they're very, very consistent on this map. And also when it comes to the attack side, you're talking about 9-3 half versus Na'Vi, 10-2 half versus G2, 8-4 half versus 100 Thieves, 7-1 versus Foot. So they're very, very good when it comes to that attack side. So I think this first half is going to be pretty important for the side of GX, but already getting themselves onto the board. Some good individual players. And the thing I always like with GX is whenever I see Vitinho and Purpo both on Duelist, that's where I do think they have the best chance of coming out with a victory.
Oh, Vitinho impressed us on the breeze. I can't remember if it was last week. I think it might have been the week before.
What was it in last week?
There you go.
If they've been playing breeze, then
my memory served me well, I suppose. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. There's a lot of fun on the Yoru. We know that his raise can be scary. One away from having himself a showstopper. They know there's aggression. The spams don't quite land. Heretics able to back off out of that choke point, reset into an A fight. Now for GX, they haven't lost a ton, but the main thing is keeping that ultimate from being reclaimed. Rienz having to concede the space. They get nothing off the early fight, and I think they can be pretty happy with that on the attack side. There could have been some less than optimal outcomes to that.
It does seem, at least initially, that Heretics have gambled a little bit with their defensive setup, but I guess with now the clear coming out from the haunt, no one in showers, they're starting to realize that this is likely a double pump back in towards this B site. Information will be gathered up by Purpo. He has an exit plan at least, and we'll be able to spot the majority. In fact, though, he actually tries to go in.
Was an audacious play. My goodness. Rienz picked up 2 from the backside before going down. It gives them a chance. TP attempt from Famzy. He's gone right behind him. The trail even showed it, but they didn't react in time. And now Famzy, well, he might be stuck in the corner, but he's got plenty of support. Showstopper used at the inopportune time. It might drop Cloud, but it won't do anything to recover the round. GX 3-2.
I feel like he may have embodied Redgar a little bit there.
Yeah. He's been watching VODs.
The TP was a gamble, but it definitely paid off. Being able to get up behind him, it was one of those spots where he's stuck in the mud. He's been caught by that season. One of the only ways out is the TP, but to go in behind, definitely a little bit risky. But it's his fight forward into this smoke that actually does all of the work. A huge individual play from someone brand new to this role. Brand new to the tier 1 as well.
5 shit, let's go.
Not a bad start whatsoever for this attacking side. Showstopper for them online for this round could help to break through this defense, but they might not even need it. Team Heretics, Pistols, Sheriffs, a Stinger, and a Guardian to work with. It's Miniboo with the Guardian going for aggression on A main, not seeing anybody. And understandably, no one else on Heretics is looking to get too aggressive. They're tucked in, holding their corners, waiting for those pushes to come through. And the one good thing about this is GX are using a lot of the utility to clear out. Flash burned up, Boombot out of play, but there's plenty more to go, especially Decoy held by Purpo for late round. And that's going to clear out a lot of these dangers.
Yeah, I'm liking the way the GX are playing in a lot of these early rounds. So we've heard recently that Cloud has been the one switching to calling, and it definitely seems like maybe his individual performance suffers a little bit, but the team as a whole looks to have quite a bit more structure, a bit more patience in a lot of these late rounds. They are now walking in to the Lion's Den. It's an attempt from Miniboo, but he's not going to get anything with the Guardian.
30 seconds left.
Big Brother is still on site, but I think they're well aware of his position. Surviving this should be impossible. Wu, however, has managed to get one. I don't know how. He must have been running through a smoke. Arians has been left unchecked. Comes close to getting himself an extra kill, and they've done a small amount of damage, but GX in the early stages have managed to level this up.
Yeah, they've done a really good job. I think especially with those first couple rounds, I was a little bit worried because it was just dominantly swinging in favor of their opponents. And Heretics are the kind of team that you expect to dominantly win this series. So it seemed like we knew what was going to happen, and we got to witness it. But now, a much different story. Even if that shot doesn't hit, there was a showstopper right at his feet, so Miniboo was out of the round. And again, it comes down to some of the things that we criticized, I think, in one of the early rounds. Second round, 5 players alive for Heretics. Woot makes a bit of an over-aggressive play. Boo's not with him, then he goes in. GX haven't looked disjointed, which is something I expected to see here on the attack side, especially with recent changes, especially with recent IGL changes. But it's been clean. You can't explain any of it by what we just saw from Cloud. That was ridiculous, and Famzy has gone for the TP from the shadows straight up to A-Heaven. People are turned back to look at him. He wins the fight, and his teammates clear outside because of the paranoia in the back of their minds. Beautiful stuff from GX.
Yeah, they're definitely playing a disruptive style, and right now Heretics are really struggling to deal with it. For Boo and Benji, it almost comes down to an immediate save. Like, trying to get anything from this point onwards would, well, you'd have to have a certain amount of gall about you, and for GX, already looking to take the lead after a bit of a slow start, a bonus round loss as well. Put yourself 4-3 in the lead is a pretty ridiculous comeback in the early stages of this game.
It really is. And as well as that, for Heretics, it's not as easy as getting ahead of these pushes in the sense that GX are spreading out, looking for map control. They're throwing in some fakes, some little flair that makes it harder to read. I mean, in this round in particular, you're going to see, I assume, many more times this from Cloud, where he's using some of his flashes just to clear up into hookah to make sure he has the space for free. Once he gets it, that. And obviously Seekers online in this round helps out even more, just being able to chase the cabbages. But you can do it with the flashes with the dog as well. And that works beautifully to, again, start some rotations in the other direction, combine that with a from the shadows and a sight push on the other side of the map. Very difficult to deal with on this defense.
Well, fact is, we're already going to have ourselves a pause called.
Has to be a Heretics tech.
Yeah, Heretics having a time to sort of talk through what has been going on so far in this matchup. And honestly, again, you have another young player, Famzy, 20 years old, coming into this team and already putting up a pretty stellar performance. As said, like, I think over his history and his entire history as a player, I think he's played Omen 3 times, which again, when 94% of your games are on like a Jet, a Raze, a Chamber, and Neon. Like, in fact, he played a best of 5 just 2 days ago, where on all 3 maps he was playing Neon. So to go from that, while also practicing with GX, they said they've only had 2 days, come in as an Omen, and yeah, he looks good. And sure, Pipson said in the interview, it's like, when you're a player coming up, you're expected in the tier 1 to be able to play anything. I still think it's a bit of a tall task to just come in like this up against one of the best teams, the best team in EMEA right 100%. Now. And we had 8-3 within the first 7 rounds.
I mean, the fact that he usually plays Duelist is shining through, I suppose.
Yeah, that's true.
Guy's aim isn't too bad. Okay, Prowler off rip. Flash was ready, even used, just to clear it out further. These players are sat back, but that smoke makes it very difficult now for GX to claim this space. They are sending players up, taking the risk, fighting from long towards short, grouping up. That gets Vitinho through the smoke and sets them up for this fight inside of Hookah. And it's Benji Fishy that's standing strong, looking to hold this angle. Now, Vitinho still has the nade, and I think before a peek goes in, that nade will be swinging to try to push the player out of position. For now, they're waiting. We had Hoodie on the other side, wall up, orb up, trying to make some noise, trying to cause a distraction, maybe even pull a rotation. And now he's around here with the spike. It looks like we're going to get that B push, and the fight with Benji is finally found, but it's Benji's aggression that gets it done. And the re-swing is his as well. A shutdown of Hookah, and now they're all left alone.
Paranoia. It's not going to catch anyone. Double TP, 2 players taking aggressive pushes. The trade's coming back, but it's still going to be left all onto Hoodie. 1 versus 2. Both players only with pistols remaining, but they're looking to try and take this one together. With spike in hand, maybe a little bit tentative. They're already moved towards his B side. The thing is that he could go the TP, but it's running out of time. He's going to have to go back for the plant, and they're waiting to see if they can hear that plant before making a single move. This is incredibly patient from the side of Heretics. There was an expectation that he would be spotted. Still a Prowler available as well, so that will leave him stuck in the mud. Every piece of utility the Woot throughout landed on his opponent, and that will be a big round win for Heretics.
That could have been massive for GX as well after Plant getting the Viper's Pit online, just recovering that clutch. But instead, Heretics come in, weaknesses across the board. And man like Benji Fishy stood in Hookah, grabbing 2, shutting down the Hookah push, and then assisting on the side. That's just a dream round for him in one where they really shouldn't have had that much of a chance. And to be fair, again, GX do a great job after that. You have one individual performance from Heretics, and then good protocols and trading from GX, but it's just not enough to recover on the disadvantages they already felt.
Yeah, this is always the thing with this Heretics roster, like the depth of talent. Up until that point, Benji had a single kill.
Yeah.
And then just like that, a saved rifle turns the round on its head. Luckily for GXO, it's not really going to do too much damage to their economy. They're still very comfortable, probably till the end of the half, just with how much they've been able to build up over the last few rounds. Still have that Viper's Pit available, but there is also one to counter on the other side, and they've also got themselves Thrash if they were to need it. An immediate Viper's Pit, but you can see a little bit of a change in pace this time. Purple actually tries to run through the Molotov. He's definitely been a little bit hit and miss in some of these rounds where it's hyper aggression. It's like they're trying to continuously be disruptive to the side of Heretics, and maybe Heretics are starting to cotton on.
With Purpo down, that seems to shift towards the B side's underway to be long, back towards that corpse to reclaim the space, retake the fights. Team Heretics don't need to do all too much. Prowler's just now being sent through a bath. Nobody seen there. Pit is in play for mid, so you're not really worried even when that Viper wall goes up from Hoodie. The main thing is if GX can get boots on the ground of a site, Viper's Pit to completely section off rotations, that could be huge. But getting into this site that they've chosen will not be so easy. Mini Boo's waiting. Boo's on the jump peak, smokes in hand. Rian's about to get contact. It's the little guy that gets a huge tags nade for back as well. He's got to be careful. Those paint shells could take him down, trapped in the corner and dropped, but it serves as a bait. They're not ready for Boo. He's grabbed a 3rd in this round, and just because of him, it's still doable, but left into the hands of Benji and Woot for the retake.
Yeah, the new boy alongside Vitinho, the longest standing member, to try and hold on to this round. GX have done well to sort of recover from the early fight, but being caught out by Boo has definitely left them in a problematic scenario. Both players wrapping round towards that elbow position. Vitinho looking for contact, and he doesn't miss that first shot, knowing now that he has the time, the nade as well. It's left to Woo, and well, Vitinho does it all. Doesn't need the support in the end. GX take the lead again.
Gorgeous stuff. I'm very impressed by what I'm seeing here today. Heretics picking this map, it gave me next to no faith. I came in expecting this GX side to look lost, to be honest. Cloud picking up an IGL role, a couple weeks of crack on that, if even. And then add to that,
Nice! Oh my God!
Famzy, who's currently 10-4 on the server, playing an agent. He's got, again, I think I'm right here, 3 officials on. Like, it's unbelievable. And some of the Omen utility has been a reason he's getting kills. It's not just on the basis of, oh, he's shooting people in the head, so he's very good. I love what I'm seeing from this Giant side, and well, what a time it is to recover for them when tournament life is still kind of on the line, but it's a very thin line.
It's hanging in the balance. The final thread would pull it apart. Woot with a hero rifle. We've seen him have some of the best performances throughout the entirety of Masters Split 2. Now with such an aggressive position, they are rotating towards him. I don't think anybody's going to expect somebody to be this deep, although Cloud actually checks on it. The man is aware that they could have pushed this far forward. That's not a blast bag that Miniboo's going to forget for a while. It gets caught out. It seems like Cloud's awareness is there again, waiting for the player on the TP. Comfortable position from him to get his second kill of the round.
That decoy is about to be sent out to make that a little bit more difficult. It won't be used now with a nice shot from Benji. Fishy is second in the round, but the second kill for Heretics. And as he goes down, it's locked into a 6-4 lead. GX, you know, second half still to be seen and so on and so forth. But my goodness, this is a much better face of the roster that we're seeing already. And maybe makes me a little bit less worried about Split because, again, something must have went right in scrims in those 2 days of practice that they feel comfortable picking that map up against Heretics of all teams.
Bro, where is he pushing, bro? I don't understand.
Well, they've won 6 of the last 7 rounds over on that attack side, looking incredibly strong. As said, like that, we've seen some angles that are so aggressive from the side of Heretics, and it seems like GX are more than aware of it. Like that spot from Wu is not something I think a lot of teams would clear, but they're more than prepared. Seekers are going to be online, a showstopper as well as a Viper's Pit. This is a good-looking round for the side of GX, although there are a couple of ults available for a response on the other side. It seems, though, that the decision from GX is yet to be made. Spike's still down back towards the spawn.
Oh, that was close. Nice try from Purpo. Rienz manages to hold on to life late into the round. Those 2 showstoppers online, but on opposite sides of the map, and it's Vitinhos that might be finding a victim. Everybody grouping up by the looks of things. Nobody moving to hookah either. 5-man push from long. Well, I don't think they're going to just commit to that blind. I think there's going to be a rocket leading that charge. And it's Benji Fishy that's in a lot of danger. Here it comes. Showstopper used. Snake bite down. Trying to keep Vitinho back. It has actually slowed him for a moment. The decoy's already burned up. And he's going to fire blind. Benji's in the firing line, but it has missed. Went straight past him. Good utility to counter it out. Now Benji's on his second. Still alive inside the site as Heretics claim back control. There's the swing and Rienz to close. Beautiful stuff from Heretics. Narrow margin with Miniboo and Rienz. 1 bullet away. But they get it done. And now, a chance to equalize it at the end of the half.
There were so many moments. The showstopper blindly shot could have caught something. We saw Benji as well, just like, just fighting for his life. I don't know how he gets away with so much here. But the swarm back from Heretics look good.
Oh, nice.
But even still, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's just another blip in the attack side of GX, because I think it's safe to say over the last 8 rounds, they've definitely looked like the better side. Still having some ults to play with. Vitinho just wants to brawl.
Unfortunately for him, it was Miniboo waiting on the other side. A well-placed shot and another few onto Cloud that leave him low. Purpo's claimed the space, though. Gate crash used. Flash is gone. Decoy out. But he's stuck in this corner, and they're aware of it. Orbital strike called in, just sure there was no way out for that man. And with Cloud hanging on to life by a thread, this Viper's Pit might be able to at least even the odds somewhat if Heretics go walking into it. The problem is they don't really need to right now. They've got the numbers to work with. And once that spike goes down, you'll see the TP coming out of Rienz and Benji Fishy.
Nice shot from Famzy. Again, he's been clean with these fights. His spams. Can you get this plant down? Only without losing a player, but more so without losing too much health. And in fact, no, they don't believe they can. Realizing that it's too much of a gamble with players on the other side. The problem now is you're not really in a better spot here. In fact, it looks significantly worse. And just look at where the remaining player, if they 8 seconds left to try and find anything, a horn to reveal They know they're still on spot. Fancy trying to play aggressively, but he meets Boo as well. And while now Hoodie, last man standing, it's the same again. 6-6. A return to begin and end the half for Heretics in the same way, but it has to be said, the middle, the main part was all GX.
It was absolutely perfect. In this round, I feel for Hoodie. The decision making there, Viper's Pit is up. You think there's a player right where we're seeing this player here, Boo. You think there's someone there, you throw out a snake bite. Maybe they're in it, maybe they're in the pit. Either way, you drop the pit, they're going to be low HP, vulnerable. You're taking the fight easy if you can manage to recover it. Maybe they even go for the TP afterwards. It could have been gorgeous. Instead, there's no one there. And they end up just looking a little bit silly, losing the main advantage they had, which was a site obscured that Heretics couldn't really go near. And once those sight lines open up, the round closes. 6-6, decent half out of GX, that's for damn sure. That middle made them look like the better squad. Now they get to be tested here on their defense. For Team Heretics, I think they have a bit of pride to recover. Giving 6 away, probably not what they expected coming into today.
Yeah, the problem is a lot of the time you'll see teams force Heretics to start on that attack. And as said, like you're looking at the last, 4 times, 9, 10, 8, and 7 rounds. The 7 was actually when they started on defense and won the second half 7-1. So their attack has been their better of the two. We'll see what GX have to offer.
The last pistol really didn't go GX. We'll ignore that flash. That didn't happen. It's okay. Bug. Something like that. Patino's done well. Not really. Dropped immediately. Purpo, Famzy in the same fate, and Heretics again managing to just steamroll over this site. I don't think the flash connecting from Purpo would have really helped all too much either. Heretics push out was well, and now, well, we're left in a clutch situation where both players are fairly locked out. I think there's even a poison orb blocking spawn.
To get back in is not going to be easy. Just look at the positioning as well. Every single member is in a passive off angle, flank being watched just in case. Like, Heretics have always been quite regimented when it comes to these late rounds. Not really a team to give these advantages away. They'll at least be able to find one, but just the time. It's so far gone at this stage that getting this defuse is impossible. And the second they go anywhere near it, Benji is there to recover. 7-6, Heretics reclaim the lead with the second pistol. I also kind of want to look at the stat line for Benji, because as I said, I think in the first, what did I say, 6, 7 rounds, I think he had 1 kill. Bit of a turnaround.
Hasn't it just? And it's a lot of big rounds. Multi-kills on a site, on the defensive side. Obviously, now we're seeing the same thing here in the pistol. And for GX, well, they're left in a pretty tough spot. Classics might just be that. Not sure we're going to see much more invested into this round. Well, Team Heretics have whatever they want to work with, although they're going for just 2 rifles, so a very big margin for error, maybe a response to what they saw in that second round last time. They lost a bit more than they wanted to. Now they can, on the attack, be a little bit more loosey-goosey with it.
If I've learned anything over the last week or so, it doesn't matter what agent, what gun, or what position you put Riens in, you can still top frag a game. So giving him that Spectre for this round or the next might not be a problem. Flash out. It's going to leave Kyle trying to do a bit of damage. Hoodie has been able to find 1 at least, but it is now just Benji farming up these extra orbs, leaving Vitinho and Purpo sort of locked out of this site. No utility other than the boombot, and I don't even know if you're going to want to use it at this stage. It might just be worth holding that for the next round.
If I'm not mistaken, that might even have been brought through from the pistol. I think the only investment here from GX was Hoodie buying a snake bite. I could be wrong. I might have missed it at the last second, but either way, that snake bite did quite a lot. Slowed down the push slightly. Left Miniboo, I think it left him vulnerable. Although I did see him take the fight up close, and it didn't look like it. Maybe he just blast packed in time. Either way, the result was to try to find an isolated duel. They did with Miniboo. He still grabbed one before going down, and in the end, as we said, with the economy that was in play for Team Heretics, the margin for error was wide. They still come through. 2 rifles, a Spectre, and a pistol carried into the next, and a chance to, well, I guess do something with those rifles in this round, but I don't expect too much reinvestment around it.
He just blast packed over it.
Yeah,
it's
just
a little
about.
bit unlucky.
That's rough.
Thank you for the replay.
Well, they are actually reinvesting. And look at the credits. They're very comfortable. Misread from me. 4 rifles, a Spectre, and plenty of cash for the next. Pretty perfect start to the half.
Yeah, I think the only thing missing would maybe they'd hoped all the orbs went into a single player so you could have an ultimate for this, but
Well,
I don't
you're not getting that one back,
I
buddy.
don't think that was the intended
That's like a kid
flash.
watching the balloon float away into the sky. It's coming back, right, Mom? No, son, that one's gone.
Papa, can I get another one? No.
Cost £3 for the helium. Well, Fatinho's done well. Wood taken down at the start. A little bit of control for this squad. TP back over to B. Okay, I like this setup. GX have funneled Team Heretics towards the left side of the map, towards B. And well, that's exactly where the stack up is. 2 players on the other side of the orb. Benji is going to have a tough time. What? He got both of them. That is outrageous. 3 versus 3. It's recovered by Hoodie. At least it seems to be. Although the nade was going to take him down. Boo gets their first low HP and drop. Okay, GX get the round anyways, but I might need to see that one from Benji's perspective. I don't know how he did that.
Yeah, it's like he isolated the first battle. The guy wasn't where he expected, so he had to correct his aim. And then there was a counter swing ready from GX, and he still manages to get that kill. Like, it's just absurd. But again, Hoodie does an incredible job of just holding on while that rotation comes in.
Oh, that's nasty. He just predicts it.
It's got to be infuriating. But yeah, then the solid hold and Fatinho there to sort of clean up the mess at the end. As you said, though, there's still going to be a comfortable buy going into this one. Benji 2 away from a Viper's pit as well. So it's definitely not going to get any easier here for the side of GX.
No, I can definitely...
Hey!
I came back this time. You did good, yeah. You did good. Thanks for coming back. Well, Team Heretics... Had to see a push coming out on long. It's Benji Fishy that was waiting for it.
He dodged in his chair.
Did he?
Please get me a replay of him dodging in his chair.
Well, Benji's dodged the bolts on the server as well, thankfully.
He's playing like, you know, one of the it was like 8D cinema where it the chair moves as well.
I went to see Avatar in 4DX by accident. That was rough. Way of the water. And they spray water on you every time. It was not the summer. But 8-7. Looking to tie it up here for GX. Rifles in hand, early aggression denied, but not punished. That's the key thing. On the side of Heretics, again, leaning towards B, but with the noise being made outside A, the Prowler in play, you can see this B hold is retracting slightly, and Hoodie, well, he can't quite get the kill on the angle, but the information's all he wanted.
Smokes out. Snake back to the lane. They're just going to go running into this, but Cloud's holding the line. 2 kills already, but again, it's Benji. Turning the tide, looks to swing forward. His reaction shots today are off the damn charts. And while Pamsy, he's been good. He's been great so far at this matchup. But he's got to try and fight back in for this 1 versus 3. Financially, him and Cloud are the only players that have any money in the bank. So if he's going to make a move, he needs to make sure he comes up with something. Otherwise, they're going to be in trouble financially in the next.
He's going to commit to it. And Wood's timing, good to catch him. Now they've got the information. They're focused in, and Famsy getting out is going to be very difficult. They try to TP out to long, but he's suspicious there could even be a player there. And as he goes to clear it, Boo confirms there's not. 9-7, 2-round gap for Heretics, attack side ball rolling, and economy for GX. Like you said, Tom, losing that rifle, even keeping it through. The next round won't look the prettiest. I want to see this one.